guys, today we are going to be playing with a package that I got in the mail yesterday. I got some of the new multi-chrome liquid eyeshadows from Lethal Cosmetics. I am really excited to be testing these out. I will say though that the main reason why I was interested in these is because I want to use them as eyeliners, but for today's video, for the purpose of this video and for the purpose of these being liquid eyeshadows, that is how I'm going to be using them. So I got 3 of these. They did ask me which ones I wanted and I could kind of pick my own colors. They couldn't send me all of them, which is totally understandable because these are quite expensive and they probably just didn't make enough to be able to like send out PR to everybody who wanted all of them because it would be a lot. So these were the ones that I picked. These were all of the darkest shades, and the reason why I picked these, like I said, is because I am going to be using these as eyeliners most of the time, not as liquid eyeshadows, because I just prefer powder eyeshadows. But like I said, for the purpose of this video, we're going to be using these on the eyes. So I thought what I could do is I can do eye swatches with 2 of these, like 1 on each eye, and then I can create a look with like the 3rd one so we could see how they look without eyeshadow and like with eyeshadow. So I think that's going to be the plan. They do have, I think, 7 different colors in these. I think there are, or am I wrong? They have 3 or 4 that are like iridescent, very light ones. Those are $21. And then they have these dark, kind of more black-based multi-chromes, which are $24. So these are a little bit more expensive than the lighter shades. At least that is what I gathered from the site. I don't know exactly how many they have. I will leave their website link down below. I do have a code lethal as well. I think it's just Annette. If it's anything else, I'll put it up on the screen, but it will save you 10%. It's not affiliated, but it will help you save some money. So I think we should just go ahead and get started. Also, for my kind of completed look, I want to use the You Beauty palette again from Glaminatrix. So many of you guys said you wanted to see me use this more, so I thought that we could use some of the mattes from this and pair one of these multi-chrome shadows with this palette, just because that would be fun. So that's basically what we're going to go ahead and do. So I think since I'm going to be doing eye swatches, I probably don't need to do like swatches on my hand, but I will insert a video that I did on my Instagram here. I really feel like I captured the shifts in all of these, and they look really, really nice. My first kind of impression is that they definitely need to be built up. Like 1 layer isn't going to be enough to get full opacity, but we'll see how they perform on the eyes, because of course that is more important than how they perform in the swatch on the hand. So I think I'm going to save this one for like my complete look because I want to use this along with the reds in the You Beauty palette. So we're gonna eye swatch these 2. So I guess let's start with this one. This one is in the shade Cipher, so C-I-P-H-E-R. I don't know if that is how you say it. I'm gonna make sure I shake this up so that it is nice and not separated at all, not that I would expect it to be. And I think I'm going to probably apply this with a brush because that is how I would probably prefer to use something like this, just to make sure I can control the amount that I put on. So here's what the applicator of the actual thing itself looks like. So got kind of a small paddle applicator, and I'm just going to use kind of a flat brush and just pick up some of this on my brush. I might have to dip in multiple times, but as you can see, it's basically like liquid and it looks so pretty. So we're just gonna go ahead and pop this all over my lid, and I'm gonna try to blend it into my crease as well. I don't have any primer on my eyes simply because I do plan on taking this off after, and I just want to make sure that it is as easy as possible, and I don't want to rub on my eye more than I have to. So you can see upon first application, it's not completely opaque here, but I think that once I'm able to put on another layer, I'm gonna wait for this to dry a little bit, and then I will go in with layer number 2. I guess in the meanwhile, maybe let me try to just blend the edges here. See, this is why I don't usually use liquid shadows, because I don't really know how to work with them. So I'm just gonna take a fluffy brush here and just run this over the edge and see if I'm able to get a good blend. Maybe I took a little bit too long here, but no, I feel like I'm able to blend this out. I probably should have started a bit lower down just so I had room to blend upwards, but it's definitely blending out, and you can probably see now that it definitely has a bit of a black base to it because it's shearing out to be more of a kind of gray. So never mind my blend here because this is not perfect at all. And let's see, has this dried? No, it's still quite wet, and I definitely removed a lot of what I just put on. I'm gonna just go in with my brush again and just kind of layer this over. So it seems like it's taking quite a bit of time to dry, so I'm just gonna sit here for a little bit and wait for this to dry, I guess. Okay, so it's been like 2 minutes and it definitely feels like it's completely dried now. So I'm gonna go in with another layer and we will see just how opaque I'm able to get this. I am going to dip into the tube one more time here, and I'm just gonna grab on my brush again, and we're gonna just layer this over the top and see if I'm able to get this to full opacity here. I'm not sure I'm gonna be able to show you guys the shift on camera. Oh, this lighting is just really bad for multi-chromes, and I am just not the best at figuring out like what kind of lighting is good with multichromes because every time I try, I always just seem to fail. So I'm still seeing a little bit of like a bald spot there, so I'm gonna go in with a little bit more just to make sure it's nice and opaque. I do feel like these would probably be best used like over a black base since I do have a black base, but you can definitely see that I've built it up nicely here and it's looking really nice now. I'm not sure if I love like how it blends out on its own, like the kind of color that it creates. I feel like I would probably not personally like blend these like I've done here. I would probably use them more as like a graphic look where I don't blend the edges or like blend it into mattes, which is what I'm going to do when I do the actual look. So let me go ahead and do the other eye here. And for the other eye, I'm going to use the shade which is Payload. So this is a blue to purple, I don't know. Let's put it on the eye and see. So I'm basically just going to do the same thing that I did on the other eye. This one looks to be a little bit more opaque, actually a lot more opaque. That looks really, really pretty. Ooh, I like that a lot. I think I like this one more than I like the green one. I feel like this one just goes on a little bit smoother. Yeah, like I don't think you need 2 coats with this one. Maybe you could use 2 coats if you wanted it to be really opaque. I'm gonna quickly try to just blend the edge a little bit here just to see kind of how it shears out. And obviously when you do start blending, you want to go in with more because you are going to be removing a little bit of the product underneath. Yeah, this one also blends out into a bit of a grayish blue, which I don't really love how they blend out, but like I said, it's not how I'm going to be using them, so that doesn't really bother me at all. I'm just going to go in with a little bit more, just kind of where I removed some of the pigment when I started blending. Again, disregard the blend. That's not what this is about, clearly, because this is not my best work, but I just want to kind of show the colors. So I'm not sure if you will be able to really see like the shift in these. Am I able to like show you in the mirror? Can you see? I feel like I can sort of see the shift in that. That looks really, really nice, actually. I don't know how to do this. Like, how do people do this? I don't know. I can't really see the shifts in this light because like I said, it's really, really hard to. This one I can see purple and I can see blue. I don't know what else I can see in this color, but these are clearly multichromes. And I think that these are the kind of shades that you want to use. You want to use them all over your lid and you want to just kind of wear them as like an everyday thing because people around you are going to see it a lot better than you are because they are seeing you from different angles and such. So you can see now it's creased a little bit because I was obviously blinking and looking around and moving my head and not keeping my eyes shut. So they do take quite some time to dry down. I'm going to go in with a little bit more of this just so we can see how opaque and if I'm able to get like a smooth application with this one. And I'm just gonna make sure that I don't move my head at all or blink for the next 5 minutes. So I'm just gonna sit here and wait for this to dry. That would probably be my one complaint here, is that they do take quite some time to dry down even when you don't go in with that much. I feel like I didn't go in with like a ton here because I used a brush, and I feel like if you use the applicator, you might end up getting like too much on your eye and it might take a little bit longer, but they do look really, really nice. Let me try to show you some close-ups and see if I'm able to capture the shift. I probably won't, and I'm so sorry. What if I turn off the ring light? Because I do have soft boxes on each side, so since I have like 2 sources of lighting, are you gonna be able to see anything? Probably not, because this lighting is not the best, but I don't know. You're gonna have to let me know. Can you see anything? Are you able to see the shift in this? I don't know, but I tried, okay? I tried. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and just take these off real quick. I'll prime my eyes with my Natasha Denona eyeshadow base, and then we can put on some mattes and then use the shade. What shade was I gonna use on my lid? I think I was gonna use this one. This is in the shade Entropy, so let me go ahead and do that. I'll be right back. Okay, so let's go ahead and go into some mattes. I was saying I was going to use the U Beauty palette, and I think that I want to use these 2 shadows in my crease because this one has a bit of a like a red, brown to green kind of thing. So I think that's gonna go. Can you see how this shifts, me trying to show multichromes, you guys. It's just, you guys need to look up Bad to the Brow. I will link her channel down below. She is the best at doing any kind of multichrome content, and she is going to kill it with these. I just know that already, so just go watch her video instead. I'm gonna start with this one and put this one into my crease. This one is called Budgie Smugglers. Not going to spend a lot of time on this because this is not the focus of the video. The focus of the video is going to be on the multichrome, so I'm just going to kind of speed through the mattes here. Like I said, just going to put this into my crease as well as underneath my eye.
I'm trying to stay focused, but somehow all I can think of is when you split. I gotta find the motive, play forward, watch every sequence bit by bit. Cause this is my own investigation.
Next up, I'm going to use the brown shade here to deepen this up with. This one is called Stitch Up, and I'm just going to take that in the outer corner of my eye as well as all the way through my crease.
I keep on searching for the missing pieces, try to find the reason why I ended up without you, baby. I got about 1 million leads to find the answer why you left me in the cold. I'm turning every soul.
Okay, so I think this looks quite nice. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to use the liquid shadow, obviously. I'm just gonna do the same thing that I did earlier. I'm going to put it on my brush and then spread it onto my lids. So like I was saying, this was the shade called Entropy, I think. Yeah, so this is a pink to green to something in between. And I'm just going to put this on as if I'm doing a bit of a half cut crease here. And I'm not going to blend this really into my crease. I'm only going to blend it into the outer corner of my eye. And maybe I pulled that up a little bit too high, but that is where we're at right now. So I'm just going to do a very thin layer to begin with here on both eyes, and then I will wait for that to dry, and then I'll go in with a second layer just so we can kind of see how opaque I'm able to get this. I'm not seeing the strongest shift in this. I don't know if you guys can see it. Let me try to see from different angles here. Yeah, I can see the green here. It really just, with multichromes, it really just depends on the lighting so much. And like I was saying before, it's going to be a lot easier for people around you to see the shifts when you're just like out and about and doing stuff than it is when you're just like looking straight ahead and like trying to see it yourself. I'm very curious about the wear time on these as liquid shadows because multichromes in general tend to crease on me and not wear the absolute best unless I use the black base underneath. That is like the one way that I'm able to use these kind of dual multichromes and not have them crease on me and look good all day. So I'm very curious to see if these are going to wear well on me. I will have a pinned comment letting you know how they wore just so I can update you guys. But I'm just going in with my second layer now just to build this up to be nice and opaque. And I really think using a brush is the way to go with these. I can see the shift a lot better too now when I have a second layer on. Again, I'm not sure if you guys are going to be able to see it because it just really depends on the angle that you're looking from, but I can definitely see a very strong green shift in this one. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to find some kind of a greenish inner corner shade. I think that could be kind of fun to sort of pull out the shift that we have on the lid here because it might make it look a little bit more green. What about something like that? That's kind of like a greenish blue. Let's try that. This is from Terra. It's one of the iridescent chameleons in the shade Time Shift. And I'm just gonna put some of that right in my inner corner here. That is a beautiful inner corner shade. I love that. So I think this is where I'm going to leave it. Do I want to do anything else? I'm thinking maybe I could be crazy. Maybe I could try to use this one as a liner over the top. Make it like very multi-chromey. I mean, we're here, it's probably going to look ridiculous, but let's go ahead and try it because I really want to see how these look over a black base. I'm going to use a liquid liner here. My lids are going to be nice and crinkly after this because there is a lot of product on my lid right now. Like I can definitely feel it, not in an uncomfortable way, but I can definitely feel that I have something on my lid more so than if I just were to have, you know, a powder eyeshadow because it does set down. Like, am I aware that this is going to be way too much multichrome on the eye at the same time? Yes. Do I care? No. So I think that I'm just gonna finesse these and make sure they're even. And then with a small eyeliner brush here, I'm gonna take the shade called Payload, which was the blued purple one. And I'm just gonna pick up some of this with my brush, and I'm gonna layer this over the top of that black liner that I put on, and we'll see if I'm able to see a better shift putting it over black. Like, this is definitely how I'm going to be using these, is to first do a layer of black and then use these over the top. It's definitely layering very nicely over the black. I do really like that. Like, that's fun. You probably can't see the shift too well because I've put it over quite a small surface area, but this is way more of a subtle way to use this kind of product. And if you're someone who likes to do neutral eye looks, I feel like this would really, really pop against that. Obviously, doing it against some kind of a multichrome eyeshadow look is, like I said, a little much and definitely overkill, but I just want to test these out and show you kind of how you can use them. But I can definitely see the shift on this eye. Wow. I can see a very clear shift between the purple and the blue here. That looks beautiful. Okay, I really like that. That is very, very cool. Okay, I'm gonna wait for this to dry. I'm gonna finish off my eyes, just do some liner and mascara, and I'll come back and I will show you what the look is like. Okay, so basically this is where we are at. To finish off, I used some blue in my waterline. This is Lady Lagoon by Fenty. And then on my lips, which I already had on, I'm using not Little Jasmine. It's Love Jasmine from Wound's Eye, which is one of the cream lipsticks. How do I feel about these? I feel that they're definitely a bit of a learning curve. Like, you can probably see I managed to smudge a little bit of the blue or like the multichrome that I had on my liner because I didn't wait for it to dry properly, and now I can't really clean this up because it's dried down completely. So it definitely has a little bit of a learning curve. I think that if you get these, you're gonna have to, you know, play around with them a few times to like really figure out how it is that you want to use them. Like I said before, I'm going to be using them as liners, and I'm really happy with the way that they layered over the top of black because that is how I'm going to be using them. And I can see also layering them over like lighter colors, like maybe layering it over like a bright blue would make it a little bit lighter, you know what I mean? So I think that these are fun to play around with. I'm very happy to have them, very grateful that they sent them over, and I can't wait to play with them more. And like I said, I will leave a pinned comment on like how it wore on my actual lid. I will say I can feel it on my lid. It's definitely not like uncomfortable, but my lids just feel a little bit heavier than normal. So just something to kind of keep in mind, that you are going to have more product on your lid than you would if you just use powders, because they do need 2 layers to be really built up to full opacity, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's just the way it is. So yeah, that's basically going to be my thoughts so far. Let me know if you picked up any of these and how you plan on using them. Like I said before, please check out Bad to the Brows channel. She's definitely going to do comparisons between these and the Natasha Denona ones and the Danessa Myricks ones. She has so many of these, so go ahead and check out her channel if you want to see like more content on these, because I'm pretty sure that Lethal is sending her some as well. So that's basically going to be my thoughts on these. I like them, but I need to play more with them basically. So that's going to be it. Thank you so much for watching as always. If you want to see another first impression video, because I have a lot of them, here's another one. And if you're new, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.